sometimes people ask me, well, is the trust that I had drafted for me in Ohio or Pennsylvania still valid here in Florida? And the short answer is yes, it is still valid here in Florida. The U.S. Constitution has a provision in it that says states must honor the laws of other states. It's called the Full Faith and Credit Clause. And so if your trust was valid in the state in which it was drafted, then it will be valid here in Florida. Having said that, however, there are a couple of reasons why you might want to think about having it redrafted or amended once you get here to Florida. The first is that if there happens to be any problem with the will, if there's the trust, if there's a contest to it, if someone thinks you weren't competent when you executed the trust, or that you were somehow influenced to make the trust against the person who's challenging, then all the witnesses who were there for the execution of the trust are going to be located in Ohio or Pennsylvania or wherever it was you lived before. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you should take a look at your estate planning documents anytime you have a substantial change in your life situation. And for me, moving to Florida certainly qualified as a life-changing situation. And so when that happens, you ought to take a look at your estate planning documents, your will, your trust, powers of attorney, all of those things. And lastly, all the trusts that I've seen have in it what's called a choice of laws clause. What that says is this trust is to be administered pursuant to the laws of the state of Florida, or if you were in Pennsylvania when it was drafted, typically will say the state of Pennsylvania, because the lawyer that drafted it was a Pennsylvania lawyer and he knew Pennsylvania law. Well, now that you're living in Florida, we don't want to administer the trust according to Pennsylvania law because very few of us down here are going to know what that is. And so that means that we'd have to associate an attorney in Pennsylvania to advise us on what the law says. So typically, when you move down here, at the very least, you ought to have your trust amended so that the choice of law provision is changed to say we're going to administer this trust pursuant to Florida law. So there you have it, trust in a nutshell. I'm Tom Mitchell with the law firm of Waller & Mitchell. We're located at 5332 Main Street in Newport Richey. Our telephone number is 727-847-2288. Thanks.